really great opportunity for me and all the players to be in the fall league. Great chance to try to work on some things to come back better next year. I think that's probably the overall goal for everyone. On the managerial side, obviously it's something I've never done before, so I think it's just an opportunity for me to learn from the people I've worked with the last couple of years and see if I can apply any of those things going into the fall.
What are the biggest things that you're looking forward to regarding to the actual game manager of the club?
I think it's a great opportunity to bring together a bunch of coaches from different organizations that have really a lot of expertise in their areas and really just kind of pick their brains about how they think about hitting, how they think about pitching, how they think about whatever base running, catching, infield, outfield, and really just kind of help give them the resources they need to be to apply their expertise while at the same time trying to kind of like pull a little bit of that into my knowledge base as well.
What is something unique you think you can bring to the table as a manager that you think will be something that stands out?
Yeah, always a good question, always a tough question. I would probably say I tend to skew in the more academic side of things, right? Don't feel fear of failure. It's almost like our concept here is like fail fast. Don't not try something because you're unsure if it's going to work. The risk of not trying it is stagnation, and the goal of being in the fall league is to grow and develop, right? So really just try to push the envelope on if in doubt, give it a shot and learn from it, and you'll be better for it in the spring and in 2026.
Whose idea was it? The team came up to you about it? Did you kind of volunteer? What?
Maybe both, if you will, but yeah, people in the organization asked me if I'd be interested, and I told them I certainly was if it was available. So at the end of the day, they offered me the opportunity. I was excited to go for it.
Is it something you'd like to do in the future, or do you think it's more like just beneficial for what you are doing now?
I would say both. At the end, I used to be a hitting coach, right? And that was kind of one very, very specific area of baseball. And now I've had the opportunity to kind of work a little more broadly across all the different departments, right? And I enjoy that for sure. So both as the analyst last year with the Yankees and now as the field coordinator, a broader role. So just more experience in some of those broader roles, whether it's field coordinator, bench coach, manager, and just try to, if possible, kind of stay in those broader areas moving forward.
And if we go back 15, 20 years, if you have ever imagined that you were going to be in this position of managing a professional baseball team?
I tell all my former students that I used to teach that, literally 10 years ago, I had my back turned to a classroom like this, running on the board. And if they asked me where I thought I would be in 5 to 10 years, I never would have given this answer. So that's just the honest answer of it. I just think keep an open mind about, what you want to do and what kind of you want to pursue, and then at the end of the day you'll find ways to do those things, to pursue those things, and you won't even know where they're going to show up. And in my case, it showed up in baseball.
So what do you see yourself doing in 5 to 10 years, since you were talking about 5 to 10 back, now 5 to 10 going forward?
I wouldn't even, who knows, I might be back in physics. No, honestly, I love what I do here. I love the game of baseball. Certainly hope to stay in it and just kind of keep kind of growing and developing into these kind of broader roles. And so, for now, it's the field coordinator here, and whatever opportunities come up in the future, I'll be happy to take on those challenges if and when they present themselves.
What do you think is the role or responsibilities of a manager, and then I guess more specifically AFL manager?
Yeah, certainly. Definitely you have a coaching staff whenever you're managing any team, and I think the first, responsibility really is to let those coaches be the experts that they are, and really make sure they have the support, the resources they need to do their jobs. You're a manager, not a micromanager, if you will, right? So it's really just making sure that they have I don't want to say oversight, but enough over supervision, oversight to just make sure that they're getting what they need to really help the players help themselves. Maybe more specifically for the fall league, I don't want to call it like spring training, but it's a little bit more like the results matter a little bit less than the process. The goal is to win, to be competitive, but the real goal is to be a better player next year when, let's say, the lights are on a little bit brighter and the games mean a little bit more, right? A lot of these guys will be competing for roster spots, 40-man jobs, calls up to the big league, that kind of stuff. And to some extent, the coaches the same way. They're all currently minor league coaches, but a lot of them probably have aspirations, for job openings in the future as well. So just help prepare those guys as best I can for whatever's going to, come their way, next year and the years to come.
Going back to the teaching part, what are some things that you maybe learned as a teacher that you can apply as a coach and now in a couple of weeks as a manager as well?
Yeah, I think one of the bigger things I learned maybe the hard way as a teacher is it's not what you say that matters; it's what the other person hears. Right? It's not what you meant by it, but it's how they kind of internalize it. Right? And that applies in spades. The bigger and bigger the audience gets. Small audience like this, I can probably come up to you personally afterwards and follow up to make sure you really understood what I meant, right? When the audience is 200 people, you can't go follow up individually with 200 people. So it's really trying to balance that and juggle that, where you need to find a way to say things so that as many people kind of hear it, absorb the message the way you intended it as possible. Then you still have to find a way to kind of follow up with as many of them as possible to check in and make sure that is what happened. And so I would say teaching, that's something I learned very quickly, because you give the same lecture to 200 kids and you find out that they all heard something very different. And so the same thing applies, I think, to coaching as well. You give the same message to all the players and then you ultimately find out they heard something different, and that's as much on me as anyone to try to, just find keep better and better ways to deliver the message so that everyone hears it the same way.
What are some of those things of managers that you've worked under that you might implement or try out?
Maybe I won't give you a specific answer. I've had the good fortune now the last couple of years. I mean, obviously Clayton here, guys like Carson Vitale, even our base coaches, Thomas Smarzak was in the fall league last year as a manager, and Blake Lally managed in AAA for quite a while. Last year at the Yankees, I mean, Boone was the manager there, but Brad Ausmus and Luis Rojas, they both had big managerial experience. So I've had an opportunity to work with each of those individuals and just seeing how they communicate with the players and just seeing how they balance the short-term vision of what we need to get done today to win this game, along with the long-term vision of, hey, this is what we need to get done to be competitive in the playoffs or to be competitive next year. I would just say generically, those are the kind of things I see them have seen them kind of juggle and handle really well, and just kind of hope to probably just get better at doing that, as opposed to maybe being a little too focused on today or a little too focused on 3 years from now, right? It's more like you have to strike the balance between doing both.
Do you envision being ejected in a game? Are you involved to strike?
No, my goal is to stay in the dugout for the entire thing. I will admit to both Clayton and Booney that my favorite games are when they do get ejected, because then I get to do a little bit more work. And I mean that in sincerely, but also with a little bit of jest. So no, I intend to stay in the dugout for all 6 weeks.
You've got a pretty young team here, but you'll be working closely with more inexperienced younger players. What do you look forward to about that challenge of getting to work with younger guys who are getting into baseball?
I think my time in baseball has kind of spanned like the full spectrum, right, of working with some college kids before I got into pro ball, and then in pro ball working all the way with the kids, maybe signing at 16 to 17 in the Dominican Republic, the short season teams that are also younger, all the way up to the upper levels of minor league baseball to here. So I think it's really just kind of what maybe we talked about before, was just trying to target your message to the audience a little bit, right? So like when you ask about what I learned from teaching, it's more like I definitely delivered as time went on. I learned to deliver a message a little bit different to graduate students than I did to incoming freshmen, right? And so I think that would probably be what I would say here is all these players are probably at a slightly different level as well, even though we're all on one team, and just try to find a way to target the message a little differently to the guys that are AA, AAA that are in a different situation than maybe some of the guys that just played low A, high A.
Was Marlins specific, with a full sample almost, full season sample? What are things that worked? Maybe things you guys tried out and things that maybe you guys were like, didn't quite give us the results we hoped for?
I think overall this season we've done a really good job of remaining process oriented, even when some of the results weren't necessarily there on the field, right? I think if you watched us in spring training, you might not have thought a lot of our on-field performance, and I think if you watched our record coming out of the gate, we might have dug ourselves in a pretty decent hole. But I do think we continuously stayed process orientated and not to the point of ignoring the results, but using the results as feedback to make minor tweaks to the process. But overall, I do think maintaining that focus on the process has really actually helped us grow and develop throughout the season, and then the results have subsequently started to follow a bit more. Any season is going to have its ups and downs. I don't think we're any different than the other team. So I think just that's probably been one of the things we've done really well this year. And then just to your point about maybe what hasn't gone as well, I would just say we just continuously try to look at the results on the field and then decide if we need to make a small tweak or not on the back end. And then hopefully you'll see those results pick up in the field, whether it's next week, next month, next season. That's a different story. But I would say that's something that we've probably done really well at this year.
Is there any other new wrinkles that you want to bring to the fall league that maybe you haven't had a chance to try up here?
I think I would like to be very open, to hearing from the coaches and hearing from the players about what their experience has been in their organizations, and making sure I don't necessarily steamroll or talk over any of that, but at the same time, trying to challenge them to basically do almost what you just suggested, which is, hey, this is like, it's almost like a free roll, right? This is like your shot to go for it and try something, and if it doesn't work, I'll stand in front of the cameras and wear it a little bit. You'll be better off for it next spring when you're competing for a roster spot, or next season on the field. So probably just trying to push the envelope as much as possible, and just letting the players and the coaches be as much as they're willing to be on the leading edge, the bleeding edge of really anything.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.